government, and I think we've done a fairly decent job of it with the help of voters right across British Columbia. Every person deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, regardless of physical ability, race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. It's our responsibility, all of us, to ensure that our society is free from discrimination, and British Columbia is the only province in the country without a Human Rights Commission. It was dismantled in 2002, and today we start on a new path. A Human Rights Commission for British Columbia that will fight discrimination, it will educate and remove systemic barriers, it will identify and eliminate inequality, and I've asked our Attorney General to take on the task of renewing the Commission with the help of his Parliamentary Secretary Ravi Kahlon. I want to acknowledge that this renewal has been championed largely from outside of the community, but also within the BC NDP. And I want to pay particular attention to two of my colleagues. One, Raj Chauhan, who is with us today from Burnaby Edmonds, the Deputy Speaker of the Legislature, who has worked tirelessly for human rights since coming to Canada, working with farm workers, working with healthcare workers, working in the broader community to ensure that racism and intolerance was not part of everyday life in British Columbia. And on 3 separate occasions, he's tabled private members' bills to return the Human Rights Commission. I know this is a particularly proud day for Raj as we stand here and begin that process again. And I also want to acknowledge, of course, the strong voice of Spencer Chandra Herbert. Everyone in this community knows that Spencer is a tireless voice for justice and equality. He's fought hard to include gender identity and gender expression in the Human Rights Code, and he's worked with schools to ensure that we are teaching young people at an early age that inclusivity and tolerance and in absence of discrimination and hate is the type of society we all want and we will all be working towards. I want to acknowledge all of the work of the people that are here today as well. It is a persistent theme in British Columbia within progressive movements that we have to ensure that if we allow intolerance to rear its head, we together have to stand and push it back down again. And one critical element to make sure we do that is establishing, again in British Columbia, like every other province in the country, a Human Rights Commission. But it's not just about turning the page